The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Today I'm going to rank all, 18 characters plus 2 ships that came out in 2021. We had a lot of new characters come out, and I personally love that. There was actually a lot of content released as well. We got a lot coming out, and so I'm going to talk about where each character is, like what they can do, what the good and bad of them is individually, and then I'm going to come back and rank them in order of usefulness. You guys can tell me if I'm completely bogus or not. Tell me what you want. I don't care. Well, be respectful. I do care. All right. Let's just go straight to it. Before we do that, just want to remind you guys, please, we're trying to mount the algorithm. We're trying to get to 10K, and I would really appreciate it if you could give me a like or a comment or something to help with the algorithm. A sub would be amazing. Like, comment, sub, ding the bell. Do a dance. Do what you want. So let's go. Let's go to the game. Whoa, we're in the game. I didn't expect that, even though I just said it. Madness. Okay, here we go. First off, we have the 2 Galactic Legends. We have Jedi Master Kenobi and Lord Vader. Jedi Master Kenobi is probably the best character right now. Well, maybe not the best like individual character, but he leads the best team right now, and yeah, he's good. His requirements are steep, but he's good. Obviously, he's a Galactic Legend. We're not gonna get better than that until we get the next Galactic Legend. Lord Vader is some a disappointment. He's been doing really well. I mean, he's a Galactic Legend. He is still really tough to kill, really strong, and people say that he can be killed with all sorts of all manner of off-meta teams, and that's not true. There's one team that only works if you put down a pretty dumb defense. He's the second best character in the game, I believe. At least in terms of just galactic power or Galactic Legend power. The Jedi Master Luke on offense is probably more potent, etc. And there's a few Galactic Legends that can beat him, but he is really good. You just need to put a decent team with him. People saying he's not good are putting a garbage team with him, and they're getting garbage results because they have a garbage team with him. That's just play stupid games, win stupid prizes. All right, folks? He's still very good. Galactic Legend, absolutely worthwhile. Next, we have a couple characters that were released. Actually, all the characters that were released with the Galactic Conquest. We don't have Razor Crest here. Razor Crest is the only other non-capital ship that was released this year. Crazy that we haven't had any other ships come out. So beyond that, we have a capital ship and just one other ship, non-capital ship. Just complete madness. I can't believe that. Honestly, that kind of makes me mad because they're pushing fleets. They want us to have good fleets, but they're not giving us the tools to it. It's not interesting. It's stagnating, all kinds of things. So anyways, Kat, one of the most versatile characters in the game right now, actually, folks. She is wonderful with Jedi Master Kenobi. She's great with Rey. She's also good with a lot of scoundrel teams, like the Bando team. She's good with Padme. She's good almost anywhere. She could go on a Commander Luke team as long as she can buff one of the characters there. The whole team gets a lot of buffs, and it's just yeah, all those buffs are just amazing. She does a lot of work. I haven't decided how I want to mod her yet. I almost think that these crit damage things are worthless, but that's almost beside the point. Maul is also out, and he's fun. Robot Legs Maul. He does a lot of good stuff. He's good. He leads either a really, really potent Mandalorian team, which is kind of like endgame, frankly, because a lot of those characters, it's like, well, sure, I might have had occasion to gear Sabine and Canderous, I guess, but the rest of them, I mean, unless you need them for a requirement, why would you gear Bo-Katan just for fun? Like, you're not going to do that. You're going to just get wrecked by everyone if you do that, unless you're using her as a requirement. So, yeah, he needs a specific team to go well. He also goes well with Lord Vader. Otherwise, he is not super duper useful. Like, he doesn't go anywhere else really. I'll be interested to see if he goes with Starkiller well at all. My guess is not, but he is good. He just needs a specific team, and that's kind of a drain. So he is good. He is good, but yeah, like I said. All right, next up, Armor was actually the first one released this year, and she's good because she babysits Sith Eternal Emperor or Supreme Leader Kylo or any number of other Galactic Legends, just because she gives those stacks of Beskar. She's also pretty decent. She can be really fast. You can see 342 is a pretty decent speed for her, I would say, and she can be faster than that even. You can see I could even boost her another 4 speed right now if I wanted to, if I had the mats to. So Armor is, she goes really well on a Mandalorian team, especially if she's fast. She can get that armor shred, and then everyone is called to assist. And if Maul is there, then it's just kind of game over, because then he gets his frenzy, he gets another turn, and it can get ugly for the enemy team. There's just not much reason to gear up Armor unless you're going to have a Galactic Legend who can use her, or if you're going to unlock Maul randomly. So she's decent. She's a good addition to the game. I wouldn't say she's transcendent. Bo-Katan is the definition of a requirement character, and she's actually pretty good with Mandalorians. If you don't have Maul, but you do have other Mandalorians who are geared pretty well, like you can have Jango and Armor, I guess. The Armor is a lot of times just pulled to help with that. She can go with Sabine if you have your Imperial Super Commander, or Gar Saxon geared for some reason. I mean, the team is okay. It's not transcendent. Canderous, it's good. She calls a lot of assists. They're fun. I would say she's almost the weakest character here. She's a decent lead. She's not bad. This is also happens to be the one character I have ever wailed on. I just really wanted her to be good, and I crackened out. I spent all 300 something dollars to get her unlocked early, and then she sat on the bench for a very long time after I got her Relic 5. So not really worth it. Could have just farmed her way later for way less money. Dark Trooper has revolutionized the way we play Imperial Troopers. It feels like he's been out for a lot longer than this. He, for a little bit, was countering Sith Eternal Emperor along with other teams, and now they actually had to buff Sith Eternal Emperor just so Dark Trooper wouldn't punch his face in, because Dark Trooper, let's face it, punches everyone's face in. It's pretty neat. Fennec Shand is a bounty hunter that no one is really sure what to do with. She does an immense amount of damage on a bounty hunter's team with almost anyone. She goes really well with Bosk, for instance. She because she does 5 hits on her basic and they call her to assist, he gets his contract almost instantly as long as he can target the right person. And with Grief on his side, Grief can dispel a pre-taunt, and then Bosk can then target whoever he wants and get that contract. She is incredibly good. She makes it so that the bounty hunter team, even without Zam, can finish off any Galactic Legend in the game. And that's not exaggerating. She can even kill a couple adds sometimes to a Galactic Legend. She really, really moves the needle on really strong Bosk teams. And otherwise, we don't know what she's going to do. Dad Bod Boba is out in about 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see her and him and see what kind of synergy they have, especially in Territory Wars. Seems like a really intriguing combo. Now, the next one, we'll just cover very quickly. We have Bad Batch. And Bad Batch are great. They take a lot to gear. Tons of crazy gear. Echo is probably my favorite out of all of them, and if you have to gear one of them, if you want a plug-and-play character, he's the one. You can make him super fast because his base speed is ridiculous, and on top of all of that, he is going to be able to get that really cool debuff off almost every time, as long as he's the fastest, and so let's see. dispel all buffs on all enemies, and inflict daze and healing immunity for 2 turns. And this is non-dispellable and non-resistible. It's just really, really strong. It's, yeah, he can dispel, he can do all that stuff. He can call to assist. He can hand out the defense up to be able to get the true damage if you're on the Bad Batch team. The whole team is fantastic. If you have a modded right, if you have them clocked right, they are fantastic. They just take a lot of effort to get up. Now my alt, it has them at gear 8 and 7 stars. We'll see what we can actually do with them. But overall, really enjoy Bad Batch. It just takes a lot of resources, and then they need to be modded fairly well as well. Definitely more of an endgame team than anything but. And then they don't kill anything that's super endgame, but they do make life a lot easier in a lot of different ways. Now we have all of the Legends characters on top of all these other ones. So Dash is good. The only problem is he requires a pretty specific smuggler team in order to be really good and make the most of all of the gifts that God has given him, including those really weird shoulder pads. And he's good. You can see I have him at Relic 5. And, I was able to light whale on him, or soft whale, whatever you want to call it, through shipments, and he can be really fast. He's plus 20 speed from his leadership, so mine, without trying too hard, is at 345. You can see I only have one 6E mod, so I could get him significantly faster if I wanted to, but I don't know if we need to or not. That team is really good. It's a very endgame team. It's like, why would you have had occasion to put gear on YOLO, on young Han Solo, or on Kira, Vander Chewie, maybe, but overall, he is definitely an endgame leader character for an endgame squad. Really enjoy, and you probably want his Omicron once you finally get him. So, great character for a very niche squad that's endgame. Kyle Katarn has revolutionized the way we play Mon Mothma. He is going to be so ludicrously good with this team, I believe. Now, if you clock him up to, I think it's 280 speed, then his effective speed is going to be 400. His starting speed is going to be 400, and that's going to get the turn meter train rolling right away. He's also amazing in territory battles, I've heard, though we'll have to see for myself here pretty soon. I don't even think you need the Omicron applied, though I guess the Omicron is pretty good as well. I'm going to try it this coming GAC. We'll see how it goes. Mara Jade is one of the best new characters out there. She is crazy. She's revolutionized as well the team that she's going to go with, which is Emperor Palpatine. And I've gotten a hold with her even at 4 stars. I put Palpatine, Mara Jade, and Darth Vader, and Shore Trooper, Thrawn, all of those. And they were all on defense. And Sith Eternal plus Watt came to try to counter him and lost. That happened in this last GAC week. So, really good team, but a really good character. We'll see if she gets nerfed. I think they were talking about her needing to be nerfed a little bit. We'll see. She's the character I'm most excited about from this Legends release, and I really love the Legends release, by the way, guys. One of the best releases ever, just because they make so many different squads so much better. It really is a lot of fun. Now, they did release Darth Talon. They made her safe for work, which was actually quite impressive. I didn't think they could do it. So, yeah, she's out. She goes with Traya, I believe. Whoa, talk about some random clicking, but she's probably the least, at least my least favorite out of all of them. The one really nice thing out of all of the Legends characters, one thing I really like about her, though, is that she gains stealth, so she can't just be sniped out. And then all the Sith allies with her gain extra health and offense and speed. And a lot of the Sith are they need those stats. Those are the stats that they really want. They crave those. The plus 20 speed is really nice to make sure that your Darth Revan stays out of reach of those really fast Imperial troopers. So, pretty fun. Really cool character. I think she'll end up with Traya at some point, and I really want to apply her Omicron, but I don't. She's only at 4 stars, so it's not worth it right now. Starkiller, I don't really know. I've seen some footage. there's nothing conclusive yet. No one's been able to find a team that just destroys everyone on offense or defense. So good character. I think he'll end up being really good. I don't know if he's going to end up being transcendent or not. He is a legendary, so I'm guessing he'll be pretty good. So let's go back to the thumbnail intros area, and I'll show you guys my ranking, and you guys can disagree. Whoa, madness. Okay. Here's my final ranking, guys, and this is ranked by usefulness. I'm not going to say that this is like the best list ever, but I'll give you some of my reasoning at least. So the first group, the blue group, Executor, ranks number 1. He should have his own color. Executor has transformed the way we play fleets. Completely ridiculous. Best thing in the game right now. Best single entity, because there is no other thing that bends the game around it as much as Executor. Like, all of the Galactic Legends are good, but they can be beat several different ways. Executor has like 2 counters. One of them is an off-meta counter, one of them is the mirror match, and that is it. That's about it. So it's as endgame as you can get, and it's also in a mode that impacts all of your crystals. So you can get the Galactic Challenge, or you can get the GAC. I couldn't remember what the name of GAC was. Dear Lord, I'm tired. So in GAC you use him obviously to get crystals. In the Fleet Arena, you also use him to get crystals. Like, most impactful character ever. Executor, hands down, the best and most powerful character, but ranked by usefulness, very obviously first. Jedi Master Kenobi kills more things more efficiently, so we're going to say him second, though he does steal your Padme team, which is pretty sad. Lord Vader, if you put good characters with him, is obviously also very useful. He's a Galactic Legend. People like to call him a lot of worthless names, and I just have to say, I can't wait to see them trying to counter him. He is very tough. You can counter him. Don't get me wrong. He's not the transcendent, amazing character that I kind of thought he would be, especially for how expensive he is to gear, to unlock, but he is very good. He's extremely useful if you can get him. Next up is Kat. I talked a little bit about her. She is just good with all these different characters. She's amazing. Mara Jade is also going to be really useful, and one of the reasons I want her on the top of the list is the fact that she can go with a bunch of characters that you've already unlocked and probably geared to a pretty decent degree, including Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader, all of these characters who have kind of been just shoved aside. She can unshove them aside and make that team amazing again. Really excited by what she can do. She can counter a couple different Galactic Legends with that team. Like I said, she might get nerfed because she's so strong. Dark Trooper, like I said previously, has made Imperial Troopers one of the best teams out there, and it's extremely versatile because he can punch things in the face so super well. He doesn't even have to walk there, he flies there. It's pretty fancy. Maul is a really good character. He's useful, but only for more endgame players, so that's why I ranked him that low. I think his team ends up being probably about as good or better than the Trooper team, but you need a lot of specialized characters, and a lot of times to be able to punch up that high up, you also need Watt, which Watt is needed for Galactic Legend counters, usually. Armorer is really useful up top here because of exactly that. You want Watt is going to be on triple duty usually. He's like, oh, I could be with this team or this team or this team, and I would love Watt to just use him for any other random team as well. He creates a team. Armorer is someone who can replace him in certain situations, and in some ways she actually does better. So she's good. She's a babysitter, but she's still good. Next up is Kyle Katarn. He's good. I think the Mon Mothma team was already pretty good without him. He makes it better, obviously, makes that team way faster, and I'm intrigued to see what kind of potential he has. I've seen him kill Rey teams before, though I think that's mostly just a fluke. That's kind of cherry picking, but he is very good. and he makes that team really good. Fennec is good, but we didn't really need her. She helps us finish off Galactic Legends. I mean, that's nice. That is a nice perk. She's good. She's gonna do a lot of damage, and I'm guessing she will end up being transcendent with Dad Bod Boba in Territory Wars. We'll see if she is in GAC or other game modes, but you don't really need her. I have great respect for her, and I want to use her, but I can never fit her on the team. It's like, okay, well, we got Zam because of the Omicron. We've got, with the Bounty Hunter Trinity, basically, which is Bosk and Grief and Mando, and then you throw Zam and some other character. I mean, it could be Talon, I guess, but if it's Aura Lead, you don't want her anyways because, I mean, you could use her, but if it's Aura Lead, you don't have room for her. So, anyways, Fennec is good, just not as super useful right now. Still nice. Dash is great, but you need a very, very specialized team, and it's a very end game character, and you need an Omicron. Makes him somewhat inaccessible. I really like him for my end game account, obviously, but you don't strictly need him. A lot of people will keep him at 3 stars, unlocked unlocked and ungeared for a really long time in the future. Darth Talon maybe has more. You know what? I think I regret. I think Darth Talon is probably a little more useful than Dash or Fennec because she's going to be used every single GAC to buff either Sith Empire or Traya. She's going to be really good, especially once we get her up to relics. She is going to be amazing. We just haven't really seen her that much yet. So, yeah. Bad Batch in general, we're just going to... I don't know why I put them in terms of usefulness way down there. I think it's because it is so ludicrous to get them all the way geared, and then you have to get them modded well. And even though they're really good, none of them are individually amazing other than Echo. Wrecker can do okay with like a Jedi Master Kenobi team, I guess, as a secondary tank instead of using General Kenobi. But otherwise, the team is just very, very difficult to access. You need a Zeta for all of them, you need 2 for Omega, and we haven't been able to farm them for very long. Anyways, the team is amazing, but they're very endgame, and they don't kill any endgame teams themselves, really. Like, they have a pretty solid ceiling. Now, they can go with Jedi Master Kenobi, okay, and they can do okay with Padme. There's a few different uses for them, but overall, you don't need them, and they're just, as an entity, very difficult, and individually, they would all rank right around the bottom as well. Finally, we have Bo-Katan. She's still fine. She's good, actually. The fact that she's at the very bottom and she can do an AoE Daze and Dispel, and she's a really capable leader for an endgame team, the fact that she's the very end means I have to hand it to him. CG made a lot of really, really kick-ass characters. Just really nice, awesome characters. And they're all exciting. And Dad Bod Boba's coming out. Who knows what's going to come out next? The only real stumble, in my opinion, is Executor. I just hate the way he's impacted fleets. I don't think I've met anyone who says, yay, Executor. We love the impact he's had on the meta. It's just so fun and dynamic now. No one says that because it's not true. It sucks. It's not fun. And everyone needs it to be able to cope in fleets. And it just kind of sucks. It's not fun. So the last 2 I did not rank. Razor Crest, because it's a ship and we don't really use it outside of Executor. I know that some people are putting them with like Radis fleets or whatever, but that's just kind of a novelty. Razor Crest, I don't know. Is it better than Bo-Katan? I don't know. In the context of Executor, yeah, sure. You need Razor Crest to have a good Executor team. Otherwise, if you don't have Executor, then Razor Crest is just not that useful. Starkiller is probably way better than the majority of these characters, but I don't have any experience with him. I don't feel qualified, honestly, to judge how good he is yet. He's going to be good. He'll be better than majority, like I said, but we just don't really know. I haven't seen enough footage. It's inconclusive, and we need to find out. So, what do you guys think? What did I get wrong? What did I get right? I hope you liked this overview. I'd like some feedback as well. If you guys have gotten this far, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, this concludes our lecture. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xerath prevails.